What's up, brothers? Hope everyone's doing well out there. I was just sitting out here chilling, thinking about some stuff, and I figured I'd turn the camera on and see what you guys think about it. What I was thinking about was this little game that women play. And this pretty much holds true for all women. Some women play it on purpose. They're aware that they're playing it. And some women, maybe they do it a little bit more instinctively. It's just natural to them, but they all play this game. It can be the hot girl that you work with, the hot chick. It could be the tomboy that hangs out with mostly male friends. Any of them. Anywhere around the world, they all play this game. And you have to be careful, because if you're not aware that they play this game, you're probably going to get played. And all these guys out there that complain about getting ghosted, they're all victims of this. They're all getting played, and they don't even realize it. When somebody says they get ghosted, really, that's blame shifting. It's a deflection tactic. They're afraid to admit that they actually got played because they were gullible enough to get played. It's not that they got ghosted. They were gullible enough to believe that the woman was sincere when she wasn't, and they got played. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Back to the game. Now, this game that women play is sort of the best way to describe it. It's the capturing of men's hearts, or as we call it in the United States, getting men whipped. Women like to get men whipped. And most of the time they can do this just by smiling, staring, flirting, talking. Most of the time they don't even have to spread their legs. Just a little bit of verbal seduction. She can look at you, give you the gaze, have you thinking your riz is on point, have you thinking, you're this big hot stud. But really, she's just working her magic on you, because she knows that's really all it takes to capture a man's heart, to turn a man into a simp. All she has to do is flirt a little bit. Now, it's interesting because on the female end, on her end, maybe she has a guy at work that she does this to. Maybe she has a couple of guys at the gym she does this to. A few guys from dating apps she does this to. 15,000 on Instagram she does this to. Couple of guys at the club she does this to. Couple more guys from the club. Couple more guys from work. Couple more guys from the gym. Never even has to sleep with them. All she has to do is flirt a little bit, and all of these guys will think that she's in love with him. And that's where simping comes from. Simping comes from a man that's gullible enough to believe that some woman working her magic on him really loves him. So, he steps up and shows his affection and how much he cares, but she's just playing him for a sucker, playing him for a fool. And when guys get ghosted, that's really what's happening. A guy meets a woman, she flirts a little bit, he invites her out, he tries to set up a date. To her, it's nothing. But to him, he's like, man, the way she looks at me, the way she talks to me, the way she flirts with me, makes me feel like such a man. So he's all excited and anxious about taking her out on Friday. She's already forgotten about him. She already made plans with her girlfriends. She doesn't even plan on going out with this guy. There's 20 other men that are in the same position he's in, right? But, he's anxiously awaiting the weekend because he wants to take her out. And then he reaches out the day before, and she's like, oh yeah, about that. I'm not going to be able to make it. And guys make up bullshit like, oh, she's immature, she couldn't handle this like an adult and be upfront with me. But in reality, the guy is just gullible. And the reason why I want to share this with you guys is because, I don't want you guys to be gullible. I don't think it's a wise decision, because on the male end, there's a reason why guys have to say that she's ghosting. They have to make her out to be the bad guy. And that's because, when you come to realize that you might be getting played, it takes a hit to your ego. It can mess with your self-esteem a little bit. Hers goes up. She knows she can have you. She knows she can get you. Yours goes down because she has all the power, and you can't have her. And that's the situation. That's what ghosting is. On her end, she has her chin up. She thinks she's like the power of her femininity, the power of her feminine sexuality is so strong she can have your head in a daze. But on your end, it's a masculine ego destroyed. It's a heart broken. That's kind of the way the game is played. And for women, the better they get at this, in a lot of cases, definitely the better their dating life is, but a lot of cases the better their life is as a whole. If a woman gets good at seduction, she can find herself a nice, high-riser, skyscraper penthouses, yachts, exotic vacations, wealthy husbands, whatever it is they're looking for. If they're good at seduction, they can accomplish that. And on the male end, it's more about not being gullible and just understanding that this goes on. This is why I tell guys that you should always be humble. You should always be humble and be true to yourself. I know a lot of you guys, you're out there, you're cold approaching, you're talking to women, and you think, wow, I'm really skilled, I'm good at what I'm doing. And maybe you are, but the thing about it is, you should always assume that a woman is insincere. Don't assume just because, you think you're hot shit. Don't assume that you think a woman loves you. Don't assume that you think a woman thinks you're God's gift to women, thinks you're just the greatest thing in the world, because she looks at you like you are and talks to you like you are. And in some ways, she treats you like you are. Don't believe it. Always assume that a woman is insincere. Until she proves that she's sincere, do not believe that she's sincere. I went into a coffee shop the other day. Never been there before. There's this like little urban strip where they got bars and nightclubs and a little bit of a nightlife about a block away. Went out and took a morning walk on Sunday. And, a little coffee shop, walked into it. And there's a lady working in there, probably about 27, 28 years old. Very attractive, I'd say about a 9 out of 10, very high up on the scale for a barista. Hotter than most baristas you'll see. So I walk in and I, approach her to have her take my order. And, she's given me this look like she finds me attractive, like, speaking to me in a flirtatious way and really going above and beyond just to, appease me. Now, this is a perfect situation of a woman who's good at playing that game. Now, obviously she's at work. She's a barista. And, in my mind, the way my mind works, what I saw was a good worker. I didn't see a woman that wanted me to ask her for her phone number. I didn't see it as an opportunity missed because I didn't ask for her phone number. I just saw her as a good worker. a good reason for me to come back, because they hire good workers and they have good coffee. But the majority of men out there, most men, if a woman looks at him like that and flirts with him a little bit like that, his head's totally in a daze. You know, he goes into a fight or flight mode. He thinks either he has to get her number, he has to make a move, or he's going to walk away very disappointed in himself, feeling like, man, I should have got her number, right? But she was just doing her job, right? And she was being flirtatious. She was, being expressing her sexuality to the furthest extent that she could while she was at work. But she was doing it just because she knows she's good at it, and maybe she wanted me to sign up for a membership or something. Maybe that's how she's graded at work, right? Like that gives her a raise or whatever, who knows. But most men would think that she was sincere. They get something like that and they assume, okay, this girl really wants me. And that's how they get themselves caught in situations where, let's say I got her phone number. Let's say I invited her out on Saturday and then she couldn't make it, right? And I'm butthurt because I got ghosted. That's not really what happened. She was just being a lady, being a flirt, and using it to get her way at work. And I thought it was something it wasn't, because, I would be in a position, I would be gullible, right? But yeah, man, I don't know. I guess that's really just about all that I wanted to say. A lot of guys are unaware that this game is being played. Women, they really, whether they realize it or not, when they're at work, at the gym, anywhere, and a lot of them could be married, single, whatever, they have this natural tendency to try to capture as many men as possible, to collect as many men's hearts as possible. And it seems that the more men they collect, the the more powerful they get, right? A woman that can collect the hearts of the whole town, she has a lot of power and a lot of authority. Men will fight over her. They'll fight for her. She has an army of simps that would give up a rib, do anything, sacrifice themselves just to make her happy. She got it made, And as a man, when people talk about the abundance mindset, I think the ultimate showing of a scarcity mindset is for you to believe that every time a woman throws you a bone, and lets you get a little bit of a whiff, you actually believe that it's something. It makes it seem like you've never been there before. It makes it seem like you're not used to that happening. I think when a woman knows she can whip you that easy, it's going to make you look unattractive and weak. Easy to manipulate. No woman wants a man that she can manipulate that easy. Other women are going to be able to manipulate you. Men are going to be able to manipulate you. You're going to be perceived as weak by everybody. But on the other hand, having an abundance mindset, I'll admit I have a bit too much of an abundance mindset. But the stronger your abundance mindset is, the more likely you are to say, you know what, maybe a girl's hitting on you, she's flirting with you, she's trying to get your number. You can kind of test her a little bit. Like, I don't think you're sincere. I don't believe this. You got to prove you're sincere. When you conduct yourself in that sort of a manner, that makes you the opposite of the desperate simp. the insecure, desperate simp with a scarcity mindset. Makes you the opposite, right? And realistically, that's kind of what pickup artists try to mimic. And I say mimic because it's not what they do naturally. They strategically try to do that. They get their playbook from the show Flavor of Love and Rock of Love, where you have a rock star and you got all these women on the show trying to prove they're qualified to date him. And he's like sitting back like, I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if you're sincere. Prove it to me, and that sort of a position. But really, if you're aware this game is being played, that should be enough for you to, adopt that sort of a mindset. It'd make you more strong-willed. And I know looks matter and, mouthpiece matters and all that, but mindset matters too. And when you have a strong mindset, and you're sort of in an authoritative position in your own life, and you only let people in if they show they're sincere, show they mean it, I think you'll do a lot better. A lot better than the other way around. But, yeah. Are you aware? Were you aware? Were you halfway aware? Not totally aware, but this video tipped you over the edge and made you fully aware. I don't know. But, I suppose that's it. And that's why when women ghost you, they laugh about it. They walk away with their head held high. No remorse. A lot of guys think women can't empathize with them. It's not that they can't empathize, it's just that she collected your heart because you were wearing it on your sleeve, and she forgot she even had it. That's just how high you ranked on the list. She had no idea. But if you would have kind of gave her a look like, you're flirting with me, but I don't know if I'm buying all this. It seems too good to be true. What's going on here? Then you'll get some different results. Got my text messages here. There was something else I wanted to say, but I don't know if I remember. Hell, I don't know. Sometimes you have to humble yourself. Sometimes life will humble you. Well, this is kind of sidetracking, but I want to share it with you anyways. My view, my perspective about women changed a lot when I turned 30. Because I realized when I turned 30, my mother was grandmother age. And by the time you turn 40, your mother is great-grandmother age, in the great-grandmother age bracket. And a lot of people don't even make it to that great-grandmother age bracket, right? Life is not long enough. It's just most people don't reach that age. So, when the woman that raised you, the woman that birthed you, is that temporary? And I think that's probably like the worst day that's one of the worst days that you could have on your calendar of your lifetime, the day when your mother passes. But if everything goes as planned, unfortunately, that day will still show up. And when you realize how precious life is, and you've seen somebody that actually does love you and does care about you, I think your mother sets the standard. I know a lot of manosphere guys say no woman will ever love you like your mother did. And they also tell women, if you want to look at how a man will treat you, look at how he treats his mother. I just think that equates to your mother setting the standard. And when you're out there talking to women, if they don't meet that standard, you know, if they don't love you unconditionally, don't believe them. You know, if they don't seem authentic and sincere, don't believe them. They don't quite reach that level. It's interesting, but they all play that game, you know. Be aware that it's being played. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. But I hope this video made you aware, and I hope this video was somewhat informative. And that's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.